So let's take a look at this ERJ. So this was definitely my best trade of the day. And as we talked about, I definitely got ripped up in Tesla. I definitely got ripped up in that Ziop. But this is something that fits the type of stocks that I really like to trade. Before the open, there was an announcement about how their free cash flow was under pressure. I don't know if you guys saw that. Did you guys see that release? So there was an announcement that they do not have as much free cash on hand as they expected. All right, so that's, as we talk about, that's a substantial change in the fundamentals of a company, right? It's the same thing as a company saying that their margins are under pressure, like we saw in that KBH. It's the same thing that we saw in Goodyear Tire when their full year guidance was under pressure, right? These are substantial changes to a company's fundamentals. The day before, the street knew X about a particular company, and now today, this company is X minus something very significant. Does that make sense? So less people want to own it, more people want to short it, and stocks have to go down. Okay, and so what was really interesting about this stock is that it didn't go down right away. But I was watching it, and because it had that very significant change in its fundamentals, and that change was quite negative, I was looking for an area to short it. On the open, it was a little bit crazy. It spread out about 80 cents at one point, right on the open. Where do we have it right now?
32.85.
Yeah, so that, but you can see from the chart that 33.40-ish area started to show a little bit of resistance, and that was a nice level to actually work off of. And so I had the intraday fundamentals, which were quite negative, and I thought the stock ought to go down, and I was using that as a backstop. I was using initially 60 cents, and then adding it, as it was going down, adding into that 40-ish, that 40 cents-ish area and building my position. And when it ticked below that 24 cents, I thought it was a signal that the momentum was to the downside. And so I added some more. And then you can see when it got below that 15 cents, it goes into the whole number, and I added some more below the lows at that 32.94, below that 32.94, added a little bit more, had a pretty nice move down to that 32.50-ish area. I took some off there. I'm still pretty short in the name. I'm not in love with this price action we're seeing right now. But that is the type of trade you sort of want to look for, which is you've got fundamentals that are changing. They're to the negative side. Where can I find an area where I can control my risk reward on the short side, build into position as the stock starts to go down and break new levels, add to your position at good prices, and then see where it can go. I'm not sure I've seen the bottom yet in this, so that is certainly one of the things you want to think about is where you get out. I don't think I saw the bottom yet down there at that 32.50. But you were really able to build a nice position of strength around that 33.40-ish area and then really add into it. And it worked because the intraday fundamentals. And it just slowly rolled over. And that 32.93-ish area, I mean, that's something you want to look for, those consolidation areas when it gets below there, continuing, even though the stock is now down another 60 cents from where you first started to see resistance, you want to continue to be aggressive there. All right, so I'm using the consolidation areas and failures from consolidation areas to add, and I'm letting the stock breathe and show me where the bottom is because the intraday fundamentals are so significantly poor. Does that make sense? Okay, so those are the type of trades. I mean, we saw that in Goodyear Tire this week. find resistance areas and changing fundamentals to the downside. We saw that in KBH pretty nicely. We saw that in G-Pro this week already, right? Competition from Apple. That stock got crushed. All right. We didn't see it in Tesla, although we thought we were going to see it with their weaker announcement about China sales. That didn't work. But that's what we're looking for. We're looking for really good changing fundamentals in the company, or really bad changing fundamentals in the company, and looking for good risk-reward areas.